Hello YouTube, welcome to me sticking my head in this greasy, stinky air compressor tank. We ground just where we're going to weld. We ground on the plate. You can see back in there on the plate. And we ground the tank. We've got our little square set, okay? And we went around here like this, checking it in 4 spots. About the best you can do. The back is bowed in towards me, so it's a little bit different measurement. That's because when they welded it, probably flattened itself. We got our Harbor Freight light in here, but we're gonna put a bunch of spot welds. We're gonna do this inside. We're sitting inside the shed because you can hear the wind chimes. It's really windy out, but we've got marks everywhere. We put a Sharpie mark in case it slid. So there we go. We're going to put some spot welds. There is a few gaps, but it does set straight. We've checked it with our wrist pin. We took a picture of that. Don't know if it'll turn out, but we did have our wrist pin here like this all the way around. Which is better than a square to me because it only makes a small amount of contact there. Of course, a square is pretty sharp on the edge. Like I said, if you had your square set, it's going to be about the same thing. These aren't that accurate. They're not. Don't use it for machining if you're a machinist. But there we go. We've yacked about this too much. We're going to get everything fired up. We're going to put some spot welds in here. Welding the front, we're probably going to look down through this hole. And when we have our arm inside of here, and to weld this, and then we'll probably get out a fan. We plan on doing the welding outside. We're just going to do spot welding. So we will have a fan sucking the fumes out of the door sitting out here. So it'll pull air through that hole up there, suck the fumes out. So we'll give you a picture of looking down through that hole, what it looks like. So stay tuned. Okay, let's flip off our welder, because I want to see how loud it is when I rewind the video. Okay, we got a couple back there. We got one on each side. We got one down here towards the front, another one down there towards the front, and then we got one right down here. We'll show you how hot it gets. Kind of bubbly. We got this set for 5/16 inch steel. That's as far as the welder will go. Am I right? 3/16. We'll mention it in the next clip. Anyway, it's cranked up all the way. Except for quarter wire. The welder's cranked up all the way. We'll mention it next time we turn the camera back on. So it does bubble it a little bit. But if you see how big they look, we're making it really big on the top, on the thick plate. And then we're kind of going up onto there, because we want the tacks to be really super strong. Okay, the rest just fill in so it don't smoke and warp, and so we'll go ahead and we'll put spot welds in between there, and we'll just keep adding as we go along. I have to get out my fan. It's pretty nasty when you get inside here. You get your head stuck in there. I don't want to wear my mask, so we're going to put a fan here to blow the stuff away from me, so stay tuned. Okay, we got the fan going and the welder fan going, and it's probably noisy, but there's a little bit of bubbling here, but I can sand flapper this down. I don't want it to look crappy in the front. I did weld some by just going in here and looking at an angle, because looking down to the hole worked, but boy, it's hard to judge where you're at. You're that far away looking through a hole up there, so we will do both. We'll look kind of off into the side here, but there was a gap back there where the light was shining through. That will get a lot of extra weld. There might be some beads back in there because we don't care what it looks like at the back. You're never going to see it if it bubbles it. But the welder was set for 3/16 of an inch. That is 5 on the wire speed and D on the voltage. I did turn it down to like 12 gauge metal, 4.5 and D. It wasn't hot enough. Oh, get the light back here. So Stay tuned for more. We're going to take a break. The machine run out of wire, so we got to put a new spool of wire in it. We've got some nasty beads, but I looked on the outside and it's penetrating. We don't want to melt the tank part because we got to get this so hot, but we're letting the welder take a break. We don't want to time it out. It does have a thermostat and it will shut down. It won't weld, but the fan will stay going. So we've done that once when we first bought it. We don't want to do that again. So back to work. Okay, we're done. They're not the best looking welds. We'll have a picture on the outside. You'll see where it did penetrate the tank. So it bubbled the metal. Got my scanner going off. We got brush fires everywhere. 70 plus degrees today. Well, maybe not where I'm at. I'm probably right at 70. But people starting brush fires because it's warm and dry. But there you go. I think that gave you a good enough picture, and I'll give you one of the outside. Thanks for watching this episode, Welding the Top On.